There we go. What's good, y'all, man? How y'all doing, man? We got some special guests in the building. People's cameras is off. Y'all can come on in. We got Creamer and Cash Comics down below here. We got Sanz.
What up? What up?
We got it.
What's going on? What's up? What's up?
Some major echoes.
YouTube feedback is killing.
Yeah, funky. All right, so yeah, we waiting on people to roll in here, but yeah, man, we got two very special guests in the building. Amber from Creamer and Cash Comics, and my man Slam from SanzGroupCollectibles in the house. You got my man Two Dog on the left, co-hosting. So how y'all doing, man? We finally got y'all in here. We've been trying to make this happen.
Man, yeah, it's been weeks. You know.
Hey, I've been on the show, man. I appreciate the invite back, man. That indie run. Oh man, that was beautiful chatting with you guys, and I'm always partnering with this lady right here, selling some
word.
We got some big plans in the works, so we appreciate you giving us a platform. I really appreciate your platform, brother, because it merges everything about life right now, man. So that's what's up.
Definitely, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Hang on. So what? So you say you got some big plans cooking. Well, let everybody know first of all what you guys do. Amber, you have an LCS, a local comic shop.
Yep.
And you guys also sell comics via YouTube, via auction.
Everywhere we can. Yep. Yeah, I have a shop in Huntsville, Alabama. If you guys are wondering how to say my name, it's Creamer and Cash Comics. That's a very unique name, but it works for us.
Amber, I want to know. Well, Amber, listen, Amber, before we start, before you get started, Amber, can you please let our fans and our viewers know, if they can't get to Huntsville, Alabama, how can they get something from your shop? Do you have a website? Your shop has a website or anything like that?
I have a website, but there currently isn't any sellable merchandise on it yet. Okay, but I can ship. So if you go to my website, you'll see a form where you can actually fill out a pull box. Okay. Diamond also has this new tool, previews pull box that you can use. So if you go to Diamond's website and you look for a shop, my zip code would be 35810. You can create a pull list on there as well. And I'll ship to you. I've got customers that don't even live in my state that do pull boxes with me that I ship to.
And that's the question that's exactly what I was trying to get out of you. If we don't live in your state, how can we support?
You sure can. You can just do it right that way. Man, you can hit me up on IG. We'll work something out. Like, I'm accessible. Email, IG, if you're on Facebook. Anyway, just hit me up.
So if I'm down on my luck a little bit, and I got to get out in the streets and sell my body or give up a kidney or something, you know what I mean? Would that work? You accept kidneys? You accept kidneys, appendages, anything like that?
We haven't gone into the black market yet.
We cash. Right.
Well, we'll do some trade, but not for the black market.
I know, right? I know.
I can't.
Listen. It might be. I mean, I heard you got a USS flag. I heard you got a USS flag. I mean, I might have to sell. I might have to. Is it complete?
It is complete.
I got it.
The only wait. Okay, so it's like 99.9. The only thing I'm missing is the deck clips.
That's it.
Easy to get. I just haven't got them.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's actually excellent.
Yes.
That's actually excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, a man can live with one kidney. A man can live with one kidney.
That's right there. This is true. Story checking out for real on that one.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna know what I'm gonna do.
Do you have Cutter? Do you have Cutter? I mean, not Cutter. The Admiral.
Yeah, she got the Admiral, bro. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Amber, you got a new customer too. Angelo wants some pole box, some static shock.
Oh, yes. Angelo, hit me up. Yep. Static season 1 is sold out. So
I got you though, Angelo. I got one for you. I got a season 1. I just picked him up.
He's got you.
I just picked him up today. Let's see. I got a whole bunch of indie number 1s. So yeah. There you go, bro.
Nice.
I'll put your name on that.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that sold out quick. I hate how they're making that just a 6-issue limited run. You know what I mean? And then it just kind of goes away after that. I'm like, you guys got to do something better.
Well, you know, Amber, we've always on this channel. I mean, because I'm a big DC fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Marvel and everything. It's not that I hate Marvel or anything that stature. But when I go to comic book shop and I look at what I picked up, it'll mostly be DC. I have a couple Marvels thrown in there.
How did you become such a DC fan, fam?
The stories. DC has a lot of great stories that I really loved. And
I feel like DC's on life support right now, man. Really?
People been saying that for years. People been saying that for years, but they're still around. They're still bumping.
Well,
right now it's just Batman.
I will say
a lot of Batman. There's a lot of Batman.
Yes, and I will say Sans Group, DC's biggest mistake that they ever made was in the 90s when they came out with the Dakotaverse and they merged the DC universe with the Dakotaverse. They did nothing with Milestone Comics. They bought them out, they did all this, and they did nothing with them. Had they did something with those fresh new heroes, who knows where DC might be today?
It would have been before Miles Morales and all of that, right? You had an
it was way before Miles Morales
to bring that all to the forefront.
Yes, because Milestone Comics was their own entity. They were their own entity. They came out just like Image and the rest of those comics.
You had everybody.
Yeah, you had the Syndicate. You had Zombie. You had all of those guys. You had Hardware. Icon was like Superman. Hardware was like Iron Man. He's like the African American Iron Man.
I can't wait for the new Hardware to come out too.
That's looking dope, man. I have a Hardware.
The new Icon.
I think I showed. I don't know if you ever seen our past shows, but I have that first run of Icon.
You still got it in the poly bag? Still got it in the poly bag?
Just the Icon. The Icon number 1 is it. Okay. That's it. The hardware number 1, I don't think it came. I think I took it out. I have the cards that came with them, the original cards that came with them. I have those.
So Amber almost shed a tear last night because on our show last night, someone pulled a $75 pull and it was a Static Shock number 1 CGC 9.8. Amber said all you heard was a scream at the top of her lungs. No, that's my book.
I just sold mine. I sold my last copy, and actually I sold it to the homie Spade Economics Comics. That was his birthday slab, so he got a great deal. He got a great deal on that. It was his first slab. So
that was awesome.
Oh yeah, I seen that on your on your Twitter feed.
So when that was pulled, I was like, damn it.
That was like a $400 book that just came out of that pull. And
$75.
I never knew those books were worth that much, and I have all those books. Never knew.
Right now, I be telling you,
listen, let me just come through your
I have raw.
Now's the time. Yeah, check on them now.
I have I even had a first run of 2099. I have all those. I have Ravage 2099, Doom 2099, Hulk 2099, X-Men 2099, Spider-Man 2099. I have all those joints.
Yeah, you just need that Spidey right now.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
Spideyverse. Yep. I mean, you get that in the 365 on the ASM, you set when that next movie drop.
Yep. Well, shout out, man, in the chat real quick. I just want to say what's up to Lazarus Einstein, aka OG Lee, in the building. What's good, my brother? Maddie Freak 187. Of course, Angelo Bolanos again, and Cook 24 holding it down as well. And we got and a few other people, you know what I'm saying, but be quiet. So Cooks is asking, Creamer and Cash, Amber, do you specialize in rare and vintage comics?
Well, I try definitely.
Look behind her up there.
Huh?
Look behind her up there.
Look, Cooks, you were at the shop just last week. You know what I got.
No, he's asking.
Let me tell it for everybody. Yes. Yeah. So we specialize in bulk. Okay. So you will find all new Comic Book Day comics. Yeah. And then you will find our Holy Grail. If you go to our Instagram page, you'll see a picture of it. The last pic I posted, well, not the last pic, but recently, just a couple weeks ago, we have been working on upping our game in the Silver Age X-Men. Oh, he's got the cookies.
Actual cookies here, ladies and
He
gentlemen.
has actual cookies.
See those chips in there?
The significance of this for the people watching is SanzGroupCollectibles specializes in fresh baked cookies, but these are a euphemism for comic books. Am I right?
That is correct, good brother. You know, the story
How
goes.
did that come about? Right.
Yeah, the story goes, the fam loves cookies. They always like, yo, bake some fresh cookies, bake them. So I was getting ready to do my first YouTube auction, and I was like, yo, I want to have this persona. I want to have something charismatic about me.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, yo, what can I say? What can I do? And I'm thinking, what connects me to the fam? And I was like, ooh, fresh baked cookies. I was like, who can turn down fresh baked cookies, right? I say, yo, I got these hot fresh baked cookies. You're going to want them. Word. So that night I got on, I was like, yo, I'm the cookie man. I got these fresh baked cookies. Holla at me. And people started connecting with me so much so that I went up to a signing. I turned around, the guy on the line was like, hey, you're the cookie man. You the dude from YouTube, right? I was like, I have arrived. I am famous.
Yeah. I've been noticed. I've been recognized.
I've been promoted. I've been promoted.
Facts. But yeah, no, it's all a blessing, man. I appreciate it because these cookies connect, like I said, and people are recognizing the brand, right? It's all about how we promote our brands, and that's why I, associate myself with such people of your caliber, Amber's caliber. My man Stu Dog here. I appreciate your brand. What you guys are bringing, the hip hop comics, what Amber's doing with her shop and with YouTube, it's one of those things where I am surrounding myself with good, positive people to take us to the next level, man. This community has accepted me with open arms, so I'm just giving it back. So y'all get y'all fresh baked cookies from the Sands, man.
Absolutely, man. That's what time it is, and Creamer and Cache. So it's kind of like we got cookies and cream right here.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I'm not hating that because we're going to team up and we're going to do some things. You guys will see some things coming in the future. We haven't worked out all of the, kinks, just how we're going to do it all. So, but yeah, we're about to take over the weeks.
Well, I mean, for example, we just had a sweet interview with the homie, Last Level Comics last week hosted on Amber's channel, and it was with Ivan Tile, Jordan Nye, and so
I saw that.
We're sowing the seeds right now to let that sprout up for us. Big deals, we're getting our little names out there now, but what we're doing is trying to make sure that we're making our rounds, putting in the work, just like we see y'all brothers doing.
Yep.
Word up.
I turn on YouTube, I see a video pop up from 6 Element nonstop. It's like, yo,
I know,
and I'm loving it because the content, man, it's what I need to know. When he was talking about the indies, I was like, put me on, bro, put me on. He was like,
yeah.
Yes, let me say, when you guys did your the one on Bunny Mask, when you guys went through the whole story, you were on that, Sands. I was like, damn, I don't even have to read the book. You guys went over it so well, and those are great because sometimes people don't have time to read every book they're interested in. They can't find it, they can't get it, and you guys will be surprised. I own a shop and I'm surrounded by books. I'm so far behind on reading because I'm constantly doing something. You know what I mean?
Look at this. This is my personal shit.
Oh my God! If you could see what's around me right now, I could barely step. You know what I mean?
Right. It's I'm stepping, walking through landmines, and it's crazy.
Bro,
it does. It gets overwhelming.
Double since last time I saw you.
I know, right?
Probably.
Yeah, but those videos are great because it's like listening to a live reading of the book.
Well, that's I was gonna. I wondered though if people are gonna feel like, because I tell people, look, heavy spoilers. You know what I mean? Like, this is heavy spoilers.
Yeah.
we're not. This is
we do.
Well, they have the chance. They can tune in, or they
tell all the people that.
But
all the people that's been living under a rock, we tell them.
Right.
I got into comics. Well, I got back into comics, I should say, in 2019 because of the YouTube video, like Rob, what's his name? Comics Explained.
Yeah, Comics Explained is a beautiful channel, bro.
Beautiful, yeah.
The way he breaks it down, bro.
I was breaks it down. He did the whole Something is Killing the Children for me. I didn't have to read. I was just like, okay, this is what this book is about. Oh, then he did all the Thor stuff. He caught me up.
He's teaching me shit from Golden Age, Silver Age, like breaking it down. So yeah, I really that's how I got into reading comics, and that made me want to go read comics.
Right.
So I hope that does. Spade in the house. What's good, my brother?
What up, Spade? Good to see.
Spade and Nomex.
Yo, Spade
is my brother, like literally my brother.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about was the Virgin variants getting us back into comics too.
Yeah.
Now,
that got me into collecting comics.
Now I'm gonna tell you that
videos had me got me into reading them.
Reno put me up on Virgins because variants because I never seen too many of them. Like I would go in the comic book store and they would be gone, and he got a Maestro one. He was like, "Yo, I got the Virgin variant." I was like, "Yo, what is that?" He was like, "Oh, it doesn't have." I was like, "Yo, that is dope. That's more like artwork to me than it is."
Exactly,
bro. That's what it's about.
Yeah, like that right there. Yeah, like Reno put me up on that.
You put me on to the comic, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go check that out." And then I found the Virgin variant, and I was like, "Yo, I got it. I got the Virgin." He was like, "What's that?"
Yeah, I was like, "What's the?" Yeah, I was like, "What's the Virgin variant?"
Yeah,
when he showed me, explained it,
got me into collecting.
I was like, really? I was like, okay, so I've been collecting them. Every time I see them, I don't see many of them when I go in the comic book shop, but when I do, I grab them.
Because you got to actually order most of the Virgins. You're ordering from store exclusives, stuff like that.
Or ratios.
Yeah, the shop's gonna have more of the trades for you,
right?
Yeah,
or the ratios that they have in the shops, but. I got into a big argument with one of my co-hosts on one of the YouTube auctions because he was saying those Virgin variants ain't worth nothing, right? And I was like, bro, it's a work of art. I was like, to eat, first of all, collect what you love, right? That's what you
exactly.
Look at that. Look at that.
There you
cover.
go.
Right. Yeah, that's to me that is. Yeah, when Reno put his out, I was blown away, man.
The Virgin always
right?
That's the Department of Truth.
98 homage.
Yep, New Mutants 98.
Oh,
yep, that's the homage.
Yep.
I told the dude, I was like, yo, my man, I was like, it's not all about, just having these old books or whatever it is. Exactly.
Let me see it again.
Oh, you got your copy, Reno?
Nah, this is just a facsimile. This is just a.
Oh,
that's the reprint. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it.
But
right
it's dope.
Is that a Reno, is that a reprint or a facsimile? But some facsimiles are worth money too. I did some research.
I've seen these slabs for like $70. This one.
Yeah.
Hey,
some facsimiles I seen.
That's about to drop.
Like Raw, they are like $20 to $30 books on that one.
Yeah,
but,
I gotta listen. I got Miles Morales coming.
I got the Hulk 181 too. The Hulk 181.
I got a 181. Yeah.
That and I got the real New Mutants 87. But those are my grails. New Mutants 98. Hulk 180, Hulk 181. That's what I'm.
Oh, they're investment pieces.
Yeah, for sure. But the Virgin variants, they always cost more. But I always wondered that though, Sans, if down the line, are they not going to be as valuable? Or are they going to retain that value?
Depends on
they don't have the logo and all of that.
It's a couple of things. Just like Amber said, it depends on the book, it depends on the story, and it depends on how hot that cover is going to be forever, right? So you look at that webhead cover. That webhead cover is iconic now, right?
Yeah,
story, nobody's checking for Spider-Man, but that webhead cover, that's going to retain some value over time. It's not going to be as hot as it was. But that one cover is, when you think about, the webhead, I got to get that, right? That's iconic there. So a cover could keep its own value based upon just the look of the cover. But the story, the artist,
now I agree with you.
Perfect storm.
Now I agree with you, Sans, but you got to think with older comics, when you look up older comics, the covers aren't that great.
Nah,
but the content inside of it. So now when you
some of them though, Amber, you're right. Some of them are incredible.
Well, some of them. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying a lot of them. Like if you took maybe like a Thor #1 or something like that, or like the first appearance of Kang, the cover isn't that great, but it's just that's when you first seen that character was in that book.
But that's what
makes it worth more. But when you come to like 2000 on up. Or like I'll even say late 90s, 2000 on up, It was all about it's been all about the cover.
I mean,
Before
the
it was all
art
about the content.
Yeah, the art.
Yeah, the art was top notch for then, but the story, the contents of the book is what rose the value. Where now the cover is what raises the value.
That's
of
true.
the book.
People buy for covers now more.
Right. And you have exclusive artists. Yeah, you have exclusive artists.
I gotta disagree.
What do you
I
gotta say,
gotta disagree a little bit. You are comparing comic books done in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, and for their time zone, that art was the shit to them. You know what I mean? That
no, Amber, I'm not. Oh no, Amber, don't get me wrong.
So when you're comparing,
don't get me wrong. No, I'm not comparing them like art wise. Like back then, that art was the shit. You right?
It was the bomb. Yeah,
but right, it was. Now I'm not. I can't put down no art on no level. But what I'm saying is that the content of the book is what made the book worth what it is today. Rather than the cover of the book is what'll make the book rise up more than what it is today. Because some artists are exclusive and they do these covers and they're well-known artists and they'll do a cover and you be like, yo, I need that cover.
Yeah, the such and such
that
cover.
Artist did it. Yeah. Right. Because that artist did it. Like I got a cover. I'll show you a cover right now. Hang on one second. I'll show you.
Talking about fans with the
I'll show you exactly. I'll show you exactly what I mean.
Saying about the webhead being
even with the webhead.
It's not because of the cover.
I agree with you to an extent, right? But also the artists, they're cyclical, right? Because everyone was like Peach Momoko, right? Yeah. And she was fire.
Right.
And now it's like, yo, people are like, yo, too much Peach Momoko, or like you could tell it and you don't really want it as much, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of brings down some of the value of some of her great work. So it's all about the balance too, to me. Like you gotta have that great story in there too if you want it to really
have it. Package.
Yeah, it's gotta be the children. I mean, the covers weren't like amazing every time, but that story,
cool, but the story,
killed the story.
Damn.
So it's crazy, and I mean, but
a lot of people complain about Department of Truth because of the art,
right? But you got
iconic. Department of Truth has the worst art ever,
right?
Like the interior art.
The interior is like,
but I love it. I love that grimy. It's got that grimy, dingy feel to it. You know what I mean? It's like 3 or 4 colors, and it matches the story when you kind of think about it. You know what I mean? Right. And the story's amazing. By far, my favorite book of this past year. Like by far.
Yeah. It's definitely up there. Some of these indies, man, especially like Boom and Image. Stories like these books right now. And I don't think we've ever seen a time where a comic comes out. Hang on. A comic comes out and it's at like issue, 17 or whatever, and issue number 1 is over $1,000. Like when does that happen? These things are new. Like you know what I mean? Like Nottingham is on like 4, and issue 1 costs more than a Spawn number 1.
Right. And that's gone. You know what? I think it's a perfect storm, right? Because Nottingham was that comic that nobody was checking for, right? It literally didn't show up in the stores. It was one of the, and then the reader buzz. That was the reader buzz. Everyone was like, "Yo, do you have not?" And when you're on an auction and everyone in the auction is saying, "Hey, you got Nottingham to throw up," and you're like, "Oh snap! I gotta go order." Like, so you had to scramble. Like, I literally went on one of my favorite sites, comicbooksurplus.com, and they be having these exclusives with the little coins and stuff that you get. And they had a Nottingham up there with a foil, bruh. I must have paid like $25 or $30 for it, but the book sold for $110, $120 because of how it's crazy. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
it is. It is crazy. It's definitely new.
It is.
It's a new phenomenon.
It's a new phenomenon, right? But we need it.
I don't think
for comic books we need it though.
And I don't think the bubble's gonna burst on some of these products. Like people are saying, "Oh, something's killing the children is not gonna last," or Department of Truth, or Miles. Right? These are the new modern kind of milestones. But I think there's certain comics that'll never hit. They're going to be okay comics and then die back down. Even if they get option and get to a movie, right? They're never going to be big. But then you got Miles. You got Something That's Killing the Children that just grew organically. These comics, people are like, well, that's going to drop. I don't think it's ever going to drop.
I don't think it'll drop.
Nah,
No, I don't need that.
not
I
those.
think for a
literature's so good.
hardcore collector, it's gonna hold its value. But I think for like a regular like Joe Schmo comic book collector, that's different. But if you got the money, the time, and you're a fan, you're gonna pay whatever. It doesn't matter. It's
These
not
books,
gonna
these
do
new
me.
books, it's so unique, right? Because you could get in, you don't even have to be a fan. You can get in, grab that book, and pay for all your other books, right?
That's true. That's true.
Just getting in with the right books, right? If you do your research, this comic game is flipped to where it's almost like riding the stock market, right? Because if you do your research, I'm like, hey, Amber, you get that new Department of Truth, that Nirvana cover, right?
Man,
$10. It was a $10 sale.
It's like $150 now.
Yeah, $200, $300, right? That's how crazy this game is. And that book, it may not hold its value for 5-10 years, but it's never going to come down and be a $10 book anymore. It'll be
that's the thing. They spike in the moment, right? There's a lot of spike in the moment because people want them and everybody knows. And we've talked about this so many times. It will correct itself, right?
Right.
But there will always be value behind it. Right. I think we were talking about this last night. These books that were dollar books going up, you know what I mean? And they will, same concept. The books that, because of these shows, that used to be dollar books that are now $50, $60, $100 books, they will never again be a dollar book. They might not stay at 100.
Right.
But they will never.
They won't go back down to $1. That's
right. Oh, man, what up, Tiger?
That's true.
What's good? What's good, people?
Yes.
DJ Tiger in the building. What's going on, Tiger?
Hey, speaking of dollar books, so I went to my local LCS today, and I had a chance to look in the back bin. Oh, that's a dope coat. I found a fantastic for
this is
$2 and $2.73. $4.
In their dollar bins?
$4.
Back bins, $4 a piece.
I need those books. Yeah, I need those books. Yeah, those
$50 a pop. I was like,
those you need.
You gotta dig.
I was in the LCS today, digging in the crates, man. Digging in the crates.
Yeah, you gotta dig.
I was like, Dad, come on, we gotta go, man. I'm like,
which one was that?
Which one? Robin. This is Robin number 3.
Oh, okay.
That's Green Arrow.
This cover. Remember, this is what I was telling you about covers. Now, this cover is by a Canadian artist. He's a well-known, famous Canadian artist. I can't say his name correctly. Jim. I ain't gonna even butcher it. But if you get the regular, now this is a virgin variant, and like I said, Reno put me up on a virgin variant.
That's the minimal.
Right, I grabbed it because
that's a minimal. That's not a virgin variant. That's a minimal because it got writing on the corner.
On the right here, on the corner right here. Now,
and even if it has a barcode, it's a minimal.
Now, the regular cover, they have another cover. Like it's not like this, but this cover compared to something that we seen back in, I'll say the 60s that looked like this. You know what I mean? Like this is more. That's my point. The content of this comic is what drives it to the price that it's at. You know what I mean? And that's the first appearance of Hyman.
Content,
right?
But it's got to be the full package. It's got to be the
right
full
now. If you're a serious collector and you know about the Fourth World, you know who Hyman is. You know what I mean? And with them just doing Justice League, Dark Side, Steppenwolf, the Sod, and all of that, this is another character that has to pop up if you keep that storyline going in the movies. Now here you got Robin, this cover, and that's what I'm saying. These covers now like works of art. This book, nothing really happened in this book. I mean, Robin just does a lot of walking around and talking. But this cover alone is what drove the price up, and the artist that did it. I got to get a slab, but that's my whole.
Comics sell by covers now, somewhat.
By covers, right? Thank you. Yes, they do a lot more.
Going back then, looking for the cover of this, in the '60s, they were just looking for the comic about that character.
Right
now, people going, I want the such and such cover of that book.
Yes,
it's got to be a dope book. It's got to be good on the inside too, like you were saying.
So, what do y'all think about that, Amber? In terms of sales and as collectors and buyers, what do y'all think about the cover A movement versus the variants, right? Like you got that purist that says, I'm just buying the cover A. That book is going to be worth money regardless. And then you got people who are saying, I want the 300 print book that's a variant.
So if it comes to a store cover, right? A store cover, like if you're talking about cover A, B, C, or D, something that a store can get and you can walk in and get regular cover price. If you can only buy one, buy the cover A. If you can only buy one, always buy the cover A, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what people are going to want, right? 10 years from now,
that's what I always thought.
To get.
I'm like, ain't you gonna want the original one, the OG?
You want the cover A.
But why are the other ones? But why do the other ones cost more?
So but there's ratios. So I mean, if you're able to pick up a 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 1 in 50, 1 in 100, whatever, sure, get that as well. But always
DC also
cover A.
DC also has the card stock as the cover B, right? So they charge a little bit more.
They're $1 more for their card stock variants. Yes,
right. But see, and then I always thought them card stocks ain't gonna really be what time it is either. Like in the investment, that's just what I thought. Like,
I think it depends on what you see on that cover, right? If the card stock has
the card stock always looks so dope though.
So that's another thing. There's so many variables. If you can pick up a cover B and it's a first appearance of somebody, let's say, right? The book is a first appearance of somebody, and that cover B has that character on the book, then you're getting the first appearance and the first cover appearance. So it's just always different. But I mean, I guess in general, if you're just going to buy one and it's just a book that's kind of like, it's a whatever, like X-Men #1 that came out this past couple weeks or whatever, get the A cover. You just got to get one.
Of that versus, the shop exclusive that you buy online. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it going to eventually level out, or is that shop exclusive going to continue to rise?
None of us really know because we are in a new era, right? 20 years ago, you didn't have shop exclusives. So this is all new to us. This is
20 years ago, I didn't even know you could grade a book, man. I was like,
that's what I'm saying. 20 years ago, you were getting an A cover, maybe a B cover, but you didn't have 20 shop exclusives. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. It's new. This is a whole new ball game with all these shop exclusives, limited print runs, this and that. You got to buy what you like. You know what I mean? We as consumers determine the market.
Fact.
Not these people grading these books. We decide
not the
what our books are worth, depending on what we invest in them.
Whatever, what the collector's gonna pay for it, that's what the comic's worth. What can you sell it for? What's someone gonna buy, pay for it?
If all of us went on eBay right now and bought a book that's worth $20, but we all 5 bought it at $100, we're like, you know what? We're going to find the $100 sales. So the last 5 sales are all $100, but this book is only worth $20.
Tomorrow.
That's to change the market.
That's true. That's also market manipulation right there too.
Yeah, that's market manipulation. So
eBay.
So you see what I'm saying? We determine. I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and do that, but we determine what we put in our books.
Right. No, she's right.
Experiment and see if we can influence the market by tomorrow.
We will.
What they did to a GameStop.
Trust.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Me and Reno was just talking about that.
Avengers 45.
Oh, the White Avengers. Yeah, that was $1.
Yeah, everybody woke up that next morning. You looked on eBay. You had 200 sales, $80, $100, $125, $110.
But that's also
you know what does that, Amber? It's the bidding. It's the bidding. It's the bidding because people bid on it. It's the bidding that drives. So then people say, "Oh, well, they bid it up to $100, so I guess it's worth $100." No, it's not worth $100. Yeah, it's that many people wanted it. That's where it got to. They had to fight for the book. It's not worth $100. That's just what it got to.
We decided what the price of that book and what the worth was. What we were willing to invest in.
What you're willing to pay. Right.
Yep.
What are you willing to pay? That's what it's worth. What you could sell it for. What someone's gonna buy. Tiger, what did you say about a game store?
No, I was saying about what GameStop, what they did. They drove the price up.
Oh yeah.
They messed with the investments.
On what? Yeah. Oh.
You were saying
it was so the price of the stock was so low. So this this company tried to short them. So they told everybody get in and buy it, and the price blew up. So that company was losing money hand over fist. It was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Backfire.
Yo, I mean, it's such an interesting time in the collector market. Like, you got video games selling for over $1 million that are being graded, right? Did you guys
graded
talk about
video games?
Talk about the impact.
Bro, remember, I was telling you, I seen the Zelda. This was years ago. I seen the Zelda, the original Nintendo cartridge, still in the package for like $4,000, and I was like, "What? No, I'm sorry, $10,000. It was $10,000.
Mario,
it was $10,000.
Mario, Super Mario 64,
$660,000.
Super Mario just sold
$660,000.
Super Mario, Mario 64 sold for 1.5 million last week.
Yes,
sealed, graded and sealed, sold for 1.5 million.
That's Nintendo 64. That's not
even brand new in the box.
Who was doing that though back in the day?
Who would buy a video game? And who would buy a video game? Don't open it. Get it graded.
Yeah,
someone
that nostalgia, right? Tiger?
This is the Ambers of the world, right? You got a shop, right? You got 1 million copies of something. You can't sell them all, and you don't turn them back in. So maybe you have a little warehouse where you left them, right? This is what I'm thinking. You got to
that's what's happening
from Toys R Us, a whole bundle or something. Couldn't move them. Now they 30 years later, they go back and look.
They got them in the plastic.
I got a gold mine.
That's where all this is coming from. That's where all this is coming from. And I'll give you a perfect example. That happened to me just this past week. And it wasn't a super expensive book, but I'm cleaning out my stock room, right? I'm organizing, cleaning like you got to do. I've only been in my shop in this current location since December. So I'm just getting it organized. I open a filing cabinet, and I have two of those, I always call them Spider-Man booth boxes, but I don't know what they're called. So they're loaded with some comics. Man, I have like 6 or 7 of the local comic shop day, Something Is Killing Children #1s.
Yeah.
I've got all these books in there that I had no idea that they cost me next to nothing. I'm like, damn, it's like $40 books.
Yeah,
no, I went into
like $40, $50 books.
There's an LCS.
Imagine a shop that's been around for 10, 15, or 20 years.
Right.
It has books in.
And they open a box that's in the corner for 10 years, and they're like, oh, damn. That's where this stuff is coming from.
This brings up an interesting point, though. What do you guys think of these warehouse finds? Like, I seen people talk
about on YouTube. The guy found the millions of comics. He was like, he did a whole video, this old cat, and he used to do the mail order comics like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Like, he was the guy in the comic book where you go in and you order your books. He was that dude. And the bottom dropped out. He lost everything, but then he came upon some money and he found this ad that this dude was trying to sell over 1 million comics. And he's like, I called, I figured it's going to be 20,000 or something like that. It's a entire warehouse with literally 1 million comic books.
Woo.
They had the forklift,
like Hulk 181s in there,
bro. They had the forklift pallets of comics into this truck and move them. But it's a crazy story too, because the guy that's selling it was like some like mob dude from New York, and his dad was in prison, and he's trying to get the money to get his pops out or something, and it was on some gangster shit. It was crazy, bro. It was a banana story.
That sounds like a YouTube film. What the
right?
That sounds like a Netflix movie or a YouTube
you run into
film.
That, but you'll be
it would make a great.
I looked up. I do a lot of shopping on like OfferUp and those other sites, right? And I hit this one guy up. He had a couple books, and I was like, "Yeah, what do you want for those?" And he was like, "Yeah, He ended up going into a backstory. He was like, "This is my ex's stuff, and she got it from her old boyfriend." Like, they don't even know what they got half the time. They just want to get rid of that crap. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, dude, I literally told him, I was like, "You got about $5,000 worth of books here." I was like, "I'll take it off your hands for $1,500, or you can move it yourself. I ain't want to do them dirty." Well, that's literally what happens. Like you said, my man was telling his father might have knew what it was, but he was like, "Yo, I'm moving this." That's what happened with these estates. That's what happens with these
sales.
Because part of it is that people in this community, they don't have avenues to sell these things. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to wait. You know, they don't want to post stuff on eBay.
Right.
You know, they just want to get it, you know, get it off and get a good price for it because they don't have anything invested in it. And so it's our jobs to then turn around and put in all this work because it's a lot of work.
It is work.
You know, to decide what we're going to sell. And, you know, we bear the risk of sitting on it.
It is, man.
You know?
Even I just started in doing the auctions on Instagram, and that's the hardest thing. Is like, what? First of all, what do I show? What are people gonna want? It's literally a crapshoot. But then, like you said, I was at the shop today, and I'm like, what do I buy? There's crates, because I'm not to the level. I'm not even like you guys are way beyond me. Like these guys sell $1,000 books, $500 book. I'm selling $50 books and all of that. But
we all started too.
I can't
we
just
all the same, babe.
I wanted to go in and just go ham and just get some of everything. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what it takes. You got to get some of everything because these auctions, I've gone a whole 6-hour night and not sold a book.
Well, let me tell you,
I've made $600 in 3 hours.
I'll tell you this: it's a difference between the platform too, right? Like you could be brand new and you get on a show like Amber's show, and that's your first night. You could sell $1,000 right off the bat. It's because you got your books in front of a certain audience,
certain people that got the money and they willing.
It's not even about the money. It's about the
collector
and
the collectors and the collectors. Yeah,
it is the collectors. You know, it's the people that you invite, the energy that you put in, the team that you bring on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The synergy that you have and what you invest in the time to decide, you know, like you said, what you're going to sell. And do you research it? Do you look it up? Do you go to Go Collect? And do you see what first appearance, you know, is on there? What's the fair market value? What it's selling for? What it last sold for?
Do you have the cojones, right? To be like, you know what? I'm going to start this at $1. Right?
Sometimes
I'm not. Sometimes it could backfire on you, but it is.
I've seen it backfire, bro. I've seen
Reno's eyes got real big when you said that.
That's the other thing,
I don't know if I could do that.
That's the other thing, right? Like you're doing it organic, Reno. Like you're doing it like this is me and
I mean, we got the squad though. It's Madmen of Comics, and like you said, it's a good team. We try to get 3-4 sellers in there at a time and create a vibe, create an atmosphere. We get to talking, integrating with the chat and growing it.
Versus like, hey, jumping on somebody's channel who's been doing it for a while, right? She already got a crowd that's coming in there. Typically, when it's your first time, you got all these books you never sold, right? So I was just on an auction with a guy who was his very first time on an auction. This dude was breaking out the goodies. I'm talking about. You got Rick and Morty #1. You got ASM 238, like pristine copies of everything, right? Because you know, once you get into this, you're moving all your product, right? But it's your first time.
You have all the great shit.
A boatload. That's all I'm gonna say. He moved it, right? But it's also he was able to get in front of a crowd that
was already ready.
Versus what you're doing, you're organically growing, which is growing your brand. That's a totally different thing, and I think that matters.
Well, you're investing in yourself. You know what I mean? Right. You got to invest in yourself. You got to get it out.
It's just going to take longer to get those bigger sales, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it in the end.
It is worth it.
I mean, Tiger knows about that, man. That man has created an amazing community. Full Blast Radio, man, on YouTube, 40,000 strong, and on Twitch, going nuts. And just the best community, man. Everybody love each other. Everybody get down, man. You really did your thing, man. And I gotta take my hat off to you.
Thank you, man.
Oh yeah, every day, 100%. Yeah,
it's inspirational, man.
Oh yeah, bro.
Tiger is an inspiration.
Yeah, you gotta
all day, every day.
Drop your link in the chat.
Oh, definitely.
And keep the band camp up to date for your boy.
Oh yeah, you know the new one's on there from last night. So.
I'm getting it Friday. I gotta pace myself because I go in there and go crazy. Next thing you know, I've been to spend $300-400 on that piece, and you're like, damn, and then be like, I already got this. So I gotta chill out. But I'm gonna be honest, I just bought some music off of there, so I said I gotta pace myself. I can't buy no more music till Friday. I'm on punishment till Friday.
All right.
So Friday, I'm on punishment. I'm on punishment till Friday. Yeah, I went and bought like 5 albums off of Bandcamp, man. Just I think it was Sunday.
They got a lot of good stuff on there, man.
Yeah. Then you put up the Anita Baker John. I was like, dang, why he do this, man? I was like, all right, I'm on punishment till Friday. So Friday, I'm going in and tear it up. Yeah, I'm gonna tear it up Friday. I'm going right on your joint and tear it up Friday.
No doubt.
Ain't
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I got a crazy story for y'all about, what is it, Batman? No, Detective Comics 27. I read an article a few years back where there was a guy and his wife. They were cleaning out his father's house. The guy's father passed, but before he passed, he had always told him, his father was a big comic book fan, and he had always told his son, like, look, like, they would go over comics and different comics, and they were looking at Detective Comics number 27. And he said his dad told him, I had one of those. He said, but your uncle hid it from me, and I don't know where it's at. Like, he got mad at me one day and took my comic, and he told me he threw it in the garbage. He said, but I know he hid it. And he told him, he said, it's in this house somewhere, because the father was still living in the childhood house. And he said, it's in here somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. He said, and I know your uncle, right? He said, I know your uncle hid it from me. He kept saying he threw it in the trash, but I know he hid it. He said, but I never found it. So I searched his house up and down, never found it. Father passes away. They go to sell the house. So, you got to do some upgrades. They're remodeling, doing upgrades. They pull out one of the walls. And when they pulled it out, the comic fell from behind the drywall.
In the wall.
The uncle had stuffed it, had slid it in the drywall. There was like a gap in one of the rooms where he just slid it behind the drywall. So for years it laid behind the drywall. And it was in a bag. It didn't have a board, but it had a bag on it. And he slid it behind a drywall. And they found it, and he didn't know how much it was worth. So the wife looked it up and was like, yo, this is like $1 million comic, because there's only but so many of those that they know exist.
Damn.
And they don't know, but they don't know how many exist, but we just don't know about it. But the ones that are in existence are beat up. And he had one of the best looking ones they had ever seen. And he got a little over $1 million for it. I think like 1.5 or something like that he got for it. But he put it up for auction.
I was gonna say, I know Nicolas Cage just bought a book like that for like $1.5 million like last year.
Yeah,
that's life changing right there. Yo.
That might be the one Detective comic because that one Detective comic, they said when I was reading, they said that when you see him, they said when you see them, they're in bad shape.
Yeah,
and they said that when you find them in good shape,
you didn't have companies back then. You had nothing. Kids, nothing. And it was kids. Kids were buying these comics at the corner store for 10 cents, 12 cents.
The newsstand.
They were putting it in their shoes. They were putting it in their backpacks. They were riding their bikes. They were rolling them up.
Rolling them up, putting them in their back pockets. Yeah. And then you got Superman. Look at Superman Look at Superman #1. Action Comics #1.
Action Comics #1. Nah.
If you look at the one that's in California in the museum that we saw for years in the 80s and 90s, it looked like it was in a fire. The cover is gone. It has burn marks on it. Like it literally does. Someone had one that was in way better condition than that. Like it was in almost pristine condition. And we didn't find that one until what? Early 2000?
Yo, kids were
the one at the museum. Yeah, the one at the museum had, I don't know what they bought. And the guy the guy bought it out, he had to put on gloves just to take it out of the case. Right. It was and that book was worth that book alone was worth $1 million. That was $1 million book.
It looked like crap.
That's the beauty of this, right? That's the beauty of this, right? You not only got a collectible that you want to read and enjoy, but you got a long-term investment if you take care of it, right? That's one of the things I'm teaching my little man with these Funkos, like, because he got his Funkos and he's like, oh, Teen Titans. He's such a big DC fan, Stu, so you would love little man, right?
That's right. That's my man. You tell him to keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Little Cookie Jr., he got his Teen Titans, right? And he's ready to open them up. And I'm like, yeah, play with your toys, right? But treat them nice, man, because we can put them back in the box and someone's going to want to buy that. And you look at those prices on those Funkos now, and they're like 5 times, 10 times, 20 times.
I don't understand it. Listen, if anybody can explain to me what is the big deal with fun, Reno tries all the time.
It's collectible.
It's just the nostalgia of the character.
It's like I mean, people like to collect them. They like to collect things that they are very inexpensive to start with. Look, I know, right?
Now that right, I would like that right there, that Jam
That's the
Master
one
Jam.
Reno got me.
I would like that.
I gave that one to Tiger.
Right. I don't listen. Let me share.
I ain't never opening this one up.
Nah, I would never open that.
I got all mine in the box. But when I first started getting them, I was taking them out. But yeah, bro, look at that.
You collect what you like, yo. These are
Ahsoka. Kasha, who's that signed by? Ahsoka.
This is the actress that did the voice for Ahsoka Tano in the animated series.
Nice.
Yep, Ashley. I can never remember her last name.
Dope.
Yep. That's gonna be a good one right there.
Yeah,
this is the best I can do.
Like I said,
that's the best I can do.
Anything.
The whole thing about it is it's like people are getting the stuff they like, right? And how you make it collectible is you limit it, and you also
and you vault it.
You vault it, right? It becomes
the best
something of value to people, right? And a lot of people are like, man, I don't want that. I'm not paying $100 for that, but somebody will. Somebody will.
Yeah.
And on top of that, when it's only 3,000 pieces, you're like, oh my God, I gotta get one of those, right? Look at the biggie, right? Look at the biggie. Like
that's dope, right? I would love to have that. I got the gamer joints. Yeah, I got the gamer joints.
In the chat.
Right?
Oh, the Gamerverse, yeah.
I got the Gamerverse.
I got Biggie ready to die.
Look, you get some Biggie right here, right? That's 5,000 pieces that you had to go stand on a line at Hot Topic, 3 different Hot Topics to find, right? Or you're gonna pay $100 off of eBay.
On eBay, right? Who is that, Amber?
Who is that? Yeah, who's that?
Oh, that's Cube.
Yeah, it's Boys in the Hood.
You know what? You know what's cool? You can open them and put them right back.
Oh, that's the Tupac. Yeah, you can put them. I did. I had a bunch of my pops out for a long time, and then I was like, nah, man, these got to go back in.
Ed said he'll sell his to Stu for $100.
Now,
there you go.
Here's the other joint.
I'll take them.
Who that right there? That's me.
That's you.
Oh, shoot.
And see how it's in a plastic case? See how he got it in a plastic case? That's like a hard plastic case that you could put the pops in.
You gotta get the ones
get out. No, stop.
Stop. Let me tell you why.
Stop.
She got the thin one.
Well, because these are UV protectant.
Yeah, see,
yeah.
And case.
Oh, so I got to get the plastic to go inside.
Yeah. Oh, so you mean to tell me I got to put Armor King? I got to put Armor King in a plastic.
So
let me tell you why. Because
these are like $2 or $3 at a shop, but they're UV protectant, so they won't fade anything.
Oh, okay.
Right. The sun won't fuck the colors up, but the value of these, like the way they grade or judge, a pop, they judge in the packages.
They are judging.
That's why you put the thing in the box. They're judging the package, not the guy.
I didn't need it, Tiger. I had no idea either, Tiger. I had no idea.
You can also buy none of mine in case they're gonna be worth less money, right?
Yeah, you can get them.
Some you're just not gonna find in the box, but they're gonna be worth less money. The problem is, if you get that minty box, right? Because if you want to sell your pops, if it has a ding in it, they're gonna take $10 off. I don't want it. That's how collectors are.
Yep.
It's just like the comics, yo. Do you have a 9.8 or do you have a 9.4, right? What's the difference?
That's dope. I like that. That is dope.
Man,
that's dope.
Man, I had so many toys, man. Star Wars figures, G.I. Joe figures.
Man, that shit all worth so much.
And lost.
Look at those figures today, though. Like if you try to go to Target, you try to go to Target, it's a fight to get a G.I. Joe figure, right?
They don't have toys on the racks anymore in Target.
Yeah. If you go to Target, we need to get together. We need to get together and we need to come out with our own toy store. Because Toys R Us, man, they did us dirty, and that was all we had. We don't have nothing else. That's all we got.
No, Amber
shop. The local shop
is a toy store extraordinaire, man. She got racks and racks on the wall of G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
And I'm losing my mind looking at the shit.
I put the link to my Instagram in the private chat because I can't post anything in this chat. But man, check it out. I'm telling you, you gotta mix the two. That's what we did. We were like, we have to feed everybody's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go to a comic shop, not only am I looking for books, but I'm looking for collectibles. You know, what's hot? What can we find? Yeah, stuff like that. You want to find it all.
You get cards right now. You think comics and pops are crazy? Get a Pokemon card or a sports card.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about that.
I gotta ask y'all. I got sheets of baseball cards that my parents collected over the years, and they're in plastic.
Yeah,
I don't know. Look on eBay. Take a day, take a Sunday, a lazy Sunday. Look on eBay and check out all of the latest prices. Right, everything that's
check out what they sold
for.
What they sold for.
But they sold okay. They're in good condition too.
And everything,
there's a thing on the side of eBay
that's worth money. Put them in a nice little hard protector and send them
plastic
off
first,
for grading.
Then hard protector.
Yeah, they're already in those sheet notebooks, those plastic. When you put them in
that's
like
good for like day one, but you gotta transfer them over.
Okay.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. But the thing is like right now, PSA, the biggest card grading company, they're not even taking submissions till September.
Wow.
Because
baseball cards are all the hype right now.
During COVID, everybody decided to become a flipper, right?
Yeah,
they're like,
everybody
valuable. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna grade it. I'm gonna get some money.
So much,
you know.
Yeah.
So they
had the time. They had the time,
they
had the time to do it.
Yo, I heard they were charging like $500 to grade cards.
They are
doing it because the cards are worth $3,500.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what I'm saying? They're charging you $500, but you know that card's worth $3,500.
You're making $3,000.
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy.
No,
it's crazy. I mean, I know right now Pokemon cards and baseball cards are all the hype right now.
Listen,
I can tell you that.
Let me tell you something.
Marvel too.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, the Marvel cards too.
Pokemon is the first one that will self-correct. It's the first one that will self-correct.
That's true.
Sports cards will continue to be around because they are connected to a real person, right?
Right.
Pokemon will be the first one that will self-correct. It's a hype right now.
But it's been long term. It's been longer than people expected too. I'll say that. And I sit in these chat groups with some of my friends, and this guy will bring out 10 Snorlaxes, and one guy will buy. Okay, he says this is $6,000. The guy will buy it. I'll take all of them. I'll take all of those. And they're like, if they get graded 9 or 10, it's game over. Because you got these little kids, not only Pokemon, but Magic the Gathering. Every LCS I go to that sell Magic the Gathering, you look in their case, though, they got $1,000 card, 15, and the little kids come in and they're like, Mom, I want that card right there. One dude was telling me from his shop, he was like, man, I just sold 5 of these Magic cards and made enough money that they're more than my comics for the last month. I was like, damn, it's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
And a lot of us got these Magic cards. We bought a pack or 2 back in the day, and they just sitting in the basement somewhere. I know for
I got a couple packs. Yeah, I got a couple packs of them. Yeah, I do too.
Boxes.
I don't think I never played it.
Like, I never played it.
Me either.
I
just Pokemon. I've played Pokemon. I have smaller kids. Well, they're my son
he collects the cards, but he's never played it.
But you know,
my sons played it when they were little.
Have to. I had to find a way to connect with my kiddos. They liked Pokemon. I was like, okay, we're gonna do Pokemon.
Right, that was awesome.
Here you go.
Nah, I could never find a place to play. Like who plays? Like I live way out in the country, so it's an hour to the nearest shop, and then I
got you. I got you.
Buying the joints.
Shit, we can play online.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, just go online. Yeah,
somebody got to teach me how to play. I was buying them because I thought they looked dope. The art was dope, and then I kind of got hooked on them. I kept going back to Walmart buying boxes of them, and now I got boxes of joints. And I put them in books.
Bro.
I know they
are. Listen, I tell you what. If you got the run they did from McDonald's, if you got the run they did from McDonald's a year ago, those cards are worth a lot of money right now. like thousands.
I don't got any of those.
Like
Sans does
I got
look
all the Asian. I got all the like the feudal Japan little era that they did.
I was like, son, you want a Happy Meal, son? Let's go.
Yeah.
My wife was like,
I want a Happy Meal too.
Why you keep buying this boy Happy Meals every day? I was like, because I want to grab
McDonald's.
these Pokemon cards.
Right.
Yo, I was like, when I saw it. But what's crazy is so crazy because not only is McDonald's doing it, but like you got cereal boxes that will drop a Pokemon card in there, and Target and Walmart and like your local supermarket are like sold out of that cereal for a month. Yo, like people were like, yo, that's how crazy it is.
You're like,
because
I just want my Captain Crunch.
All right.
Literally, Cheerios had like
box right now to see if there was something in here.
Yo,
when we said that, I was like, "Oh, I got a cereal box up here."
Yo, I got some honey nuts and O's.
When they put those collectibles inside the boxes, you go to Target, you'll see people who have cut open the box in the back. And
wow.
Yeah. I was like, why do
you don't tell me that.
Trying to
get
out.
They are sniping our
you go to grab a box and it's just leaking. Like,
oh, come on, man. How cheap can you be? Card only costs. I mean, a box of cereal, what, $5? Come on, man.
But they got to go through 25 of them to get that one card they want. So
that's true. They don't want to buy
it. Cutting it open.
Yeah,
he's not lying.
It's crazy. But that's also the thing, right? How connected is it that to collecting to hoarding, right? Right? Like if someone turned around and said, Reno, you got way too much stuff right here, bro. You hoarding, right? What you gonna say to them?
Nope.
Yeah, you can't possibly understand. Everything up right here is. Imagine if you had diamonds strewn all over your room. Would that be hoarding?
He got a point. He got a point.
He
got a point there. I can't.
Hoarding an obsession that's just like, yo, you got to have everything.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm addicted to it. Than a motherfucker.
Right.
Well, it's a hobby.
I'm addicted to it.
I would say hoarding.
This is all since 2019. Like I'm nuts with it.
Yeah, hoarding is like a bunch of everything in a mound.
Right.
Trash.
And you can't breathe. And you come in the house and you can't breathe. Yeah, when you come in the house and you can't breathe, you hoard.
You don't know it.
You hoard.
It looks like he has organized chaos.
Yeah.
I call that organized chaos.
There's stacks.
That's like my
stacks. And I know what every stack is. I know where they are. Yeah, it looks like
organized
chaos. Y'all, but it's organized chaos. I like that.
But there's also that, like you said, there's an addiction. There's a mental component to the hoarding piece too, right? Like my man got everywhere you turn.
All the 45s.
Does hoarding have
45s?
Yeah, he's a DJ, Amber. That's what his channel is. He's a DJ. He does mixes and all that.
Yeah.
Does it matter if the hoarding is worth money? Does it matter if the hobby is worth money, right? Like if Reno could turn around and say, I'm not hoarding because these are collecting value for me.
Yeah, this ain't trash.
Right. Versus like when you see the hoarders show and they can't move through because they just threw something on the floor and just won't let it go.
It's like if you're addicted to drugs, you blowing your money, you throwing your money away. If you're addicted to comics, you spending the same money, but you still got something for your money.
You got something to show for it, right?
Appreciating with value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Amber DJ Tiger is the most premier DJ VJing on YouTube right now.
Ooh, well, I just subbed.
And nobody can argue that. And nobody can argue that right
now.
Yes, sir.
Nobody can argue that.
Nobody
challenged
as well, right?
What'd you say, bro?
Amber, the same name as your Instagram is on YouTube. Your YouTube.
Creamer&CacheComics.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to yours as well.
We talked about cooks or cookies, and Cooks was asking about your shop and what made you start it and all of that. But what I've been wanting to ask you this since I first saw your name. What is the name? What is Creamer & Cache? Please tell me about
the name.
Right,
okay.
Right.
So there's a long story behind it. I used to work in retail. Huh?
I said we got time.
We got time. It's not too long. So I used to work in retail. You know what I mean? Like I thought I was doing big things. I was working for people, being the boss, you know what I mean? But always at the end of the day, coming home like just exhausted. Yeah. So the funniest story, my daughter is 13 now, but this was when she was like 6 or 7. And I said to my husband, I said, I got to go to the store and I got to get coffee and creamer because I'm not going to work without my energy for the morning. And my husband said to me, get some cash out the ATM while you're there. And my daughter said, Mom, how come every time you go to the store, all you ever get is creamer and cash? Right. And we both looked at her like, what? That is so catchy.
That's
it's a mix of two entities. Right. It is a mix of two entities. I'm the creamer, he's the cash. And it fits because eventually what we want to do is we would love to open a coffee shop, comic shop.
Oh, well, Amber, I'm going to tell you. Well, Amber, I'm going to tell you something.
My husband also has his degree in computer science, so it just fits.
Yeah.
There's
you know
one in
those comics.
There is one. There is one.
I got the image of comics with coffee stains on them, but
hey, Amber, Amber, I got some good news for you, Amber. That idea works because there is one in Philadelphia.
There's a place called Coffee and Comics.
Yes, right in Philly.
Is that in your town?
That's it. That's in Philadelphia.
There you go.
Not too far from it. Yeah.
So imagine going into a spot where you can sit down, you know what I'm saying? Get your coffee for the day, like a Starbucks, but you have
no laptop.
You have the option of shopping, reading books, reading comics. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, somebody might spill some coffee on your $3.99 new comic book day, but whatever.
Yeah. But we got to crack that comic. Can they put it back on the shelf?
Well, if you come to my shop one day and buy a latte and you spill some coffee on that comic, we're all good.
No.
Now, one of my wall books, you're not cracking that open.
Yeah. Well, Amber, you know what? You said your husband is a computer geek. You can just have digital comics. Just have digital comics.
No, digital. Nope.
That's a different
LCS. Well, wait a minute. That makes you, because the digital ones, at least you can spill coffee on that and it won't hurt the value.
We don't do digital.
Not if you give it away the kiosk to them.
We don't do digital at my house. Look, the only way we read digital is when you want to read them Hulk 181s, the X-Men #1, the giant size X-Men #1.
You just get the facsimile.
If you can find it. If you can find it.
I'm not even taking my facsimile out.
Some facsimiles are worth. Some facsimiles are valuable.
Yeah,
I've got a stack.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't
get it twisted.
Right, I got a stack.
Those are worth money. Some of those are worth money. Yeah, some of those are worth
money. Image first, $1 comic.
Yep.
So how did the idea of starting a comic shop come to you? What made you want to do comics?
This was something my husband always wanted to do. And our shop started about 2 years ago in a smaller town about 30 miles from us in Ardmore, Alabama. Super small town, like one stoplight. But we just made some connections. We met some people. They offered us a building, an avenue to make this happen. Because collecting and starting a shop are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be a collector, you can love comics, but to open up a business is absolutely different. So, you've got all the business aspects to it. So we just tried it out. You know what I mean? It was like a couple of years ago, we said, hey, let's get our feet wet. Let's see what it is. About a year and a half later, little over a year later, we were like, let's move closer to home. Let's do it for real. So, that's kind of how it happened. It was, man, I'm telling you, jump in, get your feet wet.
Because how else are you gonna come up on like the gems? Like, you got to get in there to get those gems. Because you can't just go and buy it all at once. That's what people don't get. To be able to sell them, you got to be able to come up on them.
Right.
Like, for instance, the G.I. Joe, the flag. How did you come up on that?
The flag is from Portland, Oregon.
And
so we live in Alabama.
You saw it and you ordered it, or?
No, my husband went and picked it up. Like, he flew up there, drove it back.
Wow.
But that's the thing. You have to put
the work in.
You have to put the work in. You've got to be making connections, because let's keep it real. The stuff that we sell, the stuff that us auctioneers are selling, it's not stuff it's a niche market. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's not always readily available.
You have to put that groundwork in. You got to put, boots on the ground. You have to really go and find it and hunt it down and make those connections, and link up with people like ourselves on this panel tonight, and really just, like I said, make those connections and find it.
Right.
That's true.
It's really about how much energy and effort you're going to put into it. Just like any way you guys are honing your craft. Like, I just spent the afternoon diving in a dollar bin on my lunch break from regular work, right? I went in the dollar bin and I found some books related to Kang, right? We're going to talk about Loki, right? And Kang is that big beast that everyone is talking and trying to get.
Right.
I just found these books for $4, right?
Wow.
They worth $100 together. And that's the thing. People don't want to have, one, don't have the time to do it, and two, don't have the interest and the drive to do it, right? But if you love comics, you spending an hour or two here going through some long boxes and you find some gems, it's like, yo, I just found this book for $2 that's worth $100. That's what makes your day, right?
Makes you go back and want to do that, yeah.
Right.
That's true.
You can either keep that book or you can flip that book and buy a big book that you want. A lot of people get mad at flippers because they're like, yo, you just in it to make that quick money, but they don't recognize most flippers are just trying their big key book, right? So they're flipping these new modern books, or they're flipping older keys to get the big keys that they want. So I don't ever hate on the flippers either, man, because
you can't hate on them.
We don't hate the flippers. We don't like the gougers. We don't like the gougers. Yeah, we don't like the flippers, but we don't like the gougers. We don't like the gougers like PS5. Let's keep it. And I know it's not a comic book, but okay, it comes out. It comes out. You got 6 of them sitting in your living room, and you selling them for $1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's like you're not even a gamer, right?
When there's no gas, people getting
gas. When there's no gas,
right?
Come on, man.
I'm not gonna be mad at capitalism, but there is a limit, right? I do think that. One, I blame the stores for this, right? Because you create this atmosphere.
Action figures too,
right? I blame the stores because, a lot of these shops are doing, take comics for example. They say you can only buy 1 or 2 for the first hour or 24 hours. Now, if I want to create 15 emails and try and go buy now I've gone above and beyond to try and do something.
You put work in to try to get it,
But when Walmart puts it on sale and
they don't care. Walmart don't care,
right? You got a big investor that just buys 40 of them, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
They wait for the guy to bring the pallet of the things in, and he just buys the pallet and leaves. No one ever sees him. They now have made a whole new market. They just created a whole new market because the $500 product is sold out, and everyone has to pay that new $1,000 product, and you never had a fair shot. So my biggest gripe with the comic book industry is that there's a lot of backdoor deals with these shop exclusives. Like if you're not on their Facebook group, or if you're not on their very exclusive group, they pre-sell these books, right? So you're like, oh, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna stay up all morning, and it's gonna go live at 11 o'clock, and I'm gonna press it, right? You go there and it's sold out in 10 seconds. You didn't even get to buy it.
Sans Group, that's because of the bots. You gotta remember 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago we didn't have bots. Yeah, people didn't have bots to buy things for them, but now they're using bots to buy stuff.
Bots. Let me check
it. All right, check it. No, wait, check it. Check this out. This summer, right, during E3, perfect example.
Yeah.
Metroid. There hasn't been a Metroid game in almost 20 years. Like a standalone Nintendo Metroid game, whatever. You got some Nintendo stuff in the back there.
Right.
So when they announced it, and then they announced the release date at E3, the game sold out in 3 seconds. The pre-orders, every pre-order in the world sold out in 3 seconds. 3 seconds. That's because of the bots. You can't even get one. Now, guess what? Now, an hour later, guess where they all popped up at? eBay.
Somebody else's store. But look,
for 4 times the amount that they were bought for.
Not only are there bots, but did you know, like the day before or 24 hours before, they gave certain people access to buy it before?
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
yes,
sir. I hate that too. Right? I hate that too. Yeah, I hate that also.
It says there's 500. There's really only 50 left.
Yeah.
Because
like,
you don't know they've already given them.
That's why Walmart couldn't keep up with the sales of the PS5s.
Exactly.
Right.
They couldn't keep up.
Yeah. I mean, and it's that way with $20 action figures.
Got in the store.
Right. There you go.
Right.
There you go.
And
I blame the distributor, right? If you make it fair for everybody to get now, you look at Funko. Funko's trying to fight the bots, right? They drop their stuff at like, all right, I'm gonna do it at 2:00 today. I'm gonna do it at 11:00 today. But still, people are outsmarting it, and they got bots that are gonna do it, right? But at the same time, it's one of these things where, you know, everybody wants a certain product, and it's gonna drive up the market. But if you give people this exclusive, like if you join my Facebook group, you get access to buy unlimited before it even sells. And then next week it's on that next website selling for triple the price. And I'm like, yo, I never even got a chance to buy it at cover.
That's insane, bro. That's insane. I've been bought it. Like I've been trying to buy stuff and got bought it. Like it literally happened in front of my, like when I bought a Xbox for my son for Christmas. Literally, I had it in the cart, was checking out, hit the checkout button, it glitched on me like literally like the screen flashed. Then it said item is no longer available.
That happened.
I had it in my cart, like
bro.
Yeah, like I had.
That happens with every exclusive. Every exclusive. It doesn't matter what it is.
Trying to go to San Diego Comic-Con, bro.
Yep.
The Comic-Cons. I used to work for an international company, right, where it was entrepreneurs, and one day this guy who sells like tickets to events, I was like, yo, you know, what do you got? He was like, I got Comic-Con. I was like, how'd you get Comic-Con? He was like, that's my business. I got this big thing, and he had like 10. He had like hundreds of tickets basically. And I'm like, how did you do that? Like me and my friends, we sat in front of our computers, waited in line, digital lines for like 30 minutes, and it popped up saying it's sold out. But this man had them, and he was selling them for triple the price. And I was like, that's impossible. Like you literally had the inside. This is inside trading, right?
It is.
It literally is.
It is, bro. It is. Yeah. And it's sad. It's sad because it drives up the price, like you were saying earlier, of certain items.
I get mad at
that
the
shouldn't
flipper
be as much as they are.
if it's fair. If it's fair, I get mad at the flipper, right?
Yeah.
But if you
bought you one or two or three and you gonna flip them, cool. But you buying 20 of them before anyone can get them,
right? And then
you jacking the price up. I feel like you're a jerk off.
Yeah, like PS5. I have seen.
We
eBay.
all seen the.
There was one. There was a guy. He had 6 of them. We count. I was like, yo, he got 6 in his living room, sitting by a sliding glass door.
Yeah,
and he's selling them for $1,000.
How many times have y'all waited online to go to like, what's GameStop, right, to get the new Funko exclusive? There's 10 people that's there ahead of you, right? 5 of those people don't even collect that item, right? I go I'm like, yo, what you? Oh, he was like, well, my son told me to come wait on this line and buy this. Nothing to do with it. Like, and I told to the guy, like, yeah, I'm going to this store now. I'm going to Hot Topic. I'm like, bro, I just want this one.
One. I get one
for my collection, right? And he's getting 3. Like, and there's only like 5 in the shop. And you're like, oh man, it's over.
There's people that literally make a business out of doing this. They're not fans of it. They're just doing it.
But I blame the shops for not limiting, right? You gotta limit.
I believe, I agree with that. You gotta put it on the shops.
Yeah, my cousin, when the PS5 came out, my cousin, she wanted me to come with her. We're in Georgia. Georgia's open carry. She wanted me to come with her to Target to pick up the PS5 just in case someone was going to try to like rob her for it.
Right.
I had to come with because I had my, you know what I mean? And she was nervous. Like she was like, can you please come with me because I want to make sure no. I'm like, for a game console, like yo,
it was
Yes,
nuts.
sir.
It was
Yes,
nuts.
sir. Tag it was brutal. It was brutal in the early days,
Right.
bro. It was
Crazy.
brutal.
So okay,
It's
so
still brutal.
Yeah.
Why do you think Walmart
very brutal.
and Targets aren't selling Pokemon cards in
Yo,
shops?
fist fights.
At all. They're just
Can
not
we talk
selling no
about
more.
Stray Dogs and what happened in Midtown Comics? Like they
Wow.
bum rushed the comic book store to get it, like ran over old dude.
What?
Like,
No.
that's how hot Stray Dogs
That's
was.
bad,
like
man.
Midtown
Yeah.
Comics opened their door, and it was like Black Friday, right? You running over dudes like that.
That's the joint in New York, the Midtown Comics in New York.
Yeah, Midtown Comics.
sir.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a dope. Hey, that's a
Man,
dope
I
spot.
want to go
If
there
you
so bad.
Reno, that's a dope spot.
gotta
I've been there.
Hmm.
Reno, it is
Phenomenal.
listen, it is like it's like walking into like I don't know, man. It's like yeah, that's exactly what it's like.
Angels
It's
and
like
shit.
Toys R Us back in the
Check
day
this
when you
out.
would walk
When
in.
I was in there, I didn't know they had an upstairs. So I'm downstairs and I'm like, all right, because I'm like, damn, this joint kind of small. I'm like, what was all the hype about? You know, Midtown Comics. I'm in there, I'm looking around, I'm like, all right. And then the guy was like, oh, I asked him for something. He said, oh, wait, that's upstairs. You're gonna have to go. I said, upstairs where? It's like, oh, just some. He showed me the stairs, and when I went up the stairs, that's when it was just like,
wide open.
you know, like
Wonderland.
it was just like dun, 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 dun. I was like, no,
I
got to the top.
gotta see
I got to the top of the stairs.
I gotta see the
Yeah,
new
I was
edition
like,
Amber
yo.
opened up her shop. Like you thought it was a nice spot, and then she showed pictures of the new stuff in the back walls. I was like, I gotta go to Alabama, yo. This is fire.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
bro.
definitely gotta get to Alabama.
She
Yeah,
got the goods, man. Her shop, man. I was mind blown, man, when she started showing them G.I. Joe figures and all of that, man.
Oh man.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
the Star Wars figures.
I
I was
need
like,
that.
yeah.
I need that Snake Eyes
Man.
in that Storm Shadow, bro.
She's like, I got more.
we
I got
always
more
need that.
Admiral Thrawns. I was like, oh.
Ron, yep. So Slam. All right, so that's how you open a comic shop. Now, how do you open, or how did you start a comic auction site? What was the deal? How did you learn about that from you saw someone doing it, or how did you get into that?
Yeah, so yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, pandemic changed everything, right? Everybody's home. Everybody's like, yo, what am I gonna do? I started getting back into my comics. Then I was like, yo, I got some of these. Let me sell some of them. I was on eBay pushing some of them, and then all of a sudden, you know, I looked on YouTube and I saw an auction. I was like, huh, this is interesting. So I just watched the auction for a couple weeks, and then I hit dude up. I was like, yo, I got books. He was like, yo, you got references? What do you need? Like, I was like, I got nothing. I just got these books. If you want, he was like, all right, you know, keep in contact. I'll give you a shot. I got on the show, and literally, man, I'll tell you this. It's a combination of, do you have good books? Are you charismatic? Are you likable?
Yeah.
Because you could be, you could have some good books and they'll sell, but people don't want to see you if you just like some like a zombie and like it literally like what we're doing is we're entertaining people, man. So that's how I got into
the same
it.
Like with the Instagram auction.
Yeah, that's how I got into it, man. Like basically, I saw the show, and you literally got to go for it. You got to ask the people like, yo, what does it take to get on here? You know, they'll ask you for references or different things, and it's going to take some time because you got to be known in the community. What's happening is, and you know, unfortunately, there's bad guys in everything, right? So when you get into this, you got to build up your reputation. That's a lot of work. You got to pack books good. You got to ship books. I know you like, yo, your joints got wet in the rain, and the books still didn't get damage, right? That's because people took care of what they did, right? It's a lot to it, right? You can get on that show, but you could damage someone's reputation by not sending books, by sending damaged books, or doing bad work, right? So it's a combination, and people want to know that you got a good reputation. So it took some time for people to let you on, but once you on, you got to make your mark, and that's what I'll say, right? Like you get on, you don't just half-ass it. You got to go in. You got to be, you know, creative with what you do. You got to be ready to move good product and you gotta make it happen, right? Give the people the books that's timely or that's like, timeless. That's what I'll say, timely or timeless. Because if there's a new movie and you got that book, boom, people gonna want it.
Right.
Or if you got a key, people gonna want it, right? If you just throwing up crap product, it's gonna be like, all right, get this man off the show.
Yeah.
So that's how I literally got into it. But anyone can do this, right? If you got books and you got, I would say, integrity, then there's a spot for you in the community, right? If you're a shady character, you're gonna get sniffed out sooner or later, because what happens is people gonna start saying, I'm not getting my books, or you overcharge it, whatever it is you doing.
Right.
It's a small enough community to where you're not going to be able to move your product no more. So you got to build up your reputation properly, right? And do the social media push, right? Get your IGs, get those other things, because people start seeing it. It's like, oh, this dude is doing cookie claims. What is that? What's a cookie claim?
Yeah.
And I'm like, late night cookie claims, like get wake and bake with Sands, right? They're like, oh, this guy is funny. He's got cookies. He's talking about weed, whatever it is, right? But it had a little niche to it, and people started to follow the brand. So that's pretty much what it was, bro.
Does it take a lot of capital did you already have a big collection of comics that you started selling from, or did you have some money to invest and buy a bunch of inventory? How'd you get into it? How would you get into it if you didn't already have a big collection that you wanted to sell?
So if you don't have a big collection that you want to sell, I would say you're going to need a little bit of capital to either stock up. You want to go on to an online website. The biggest key right now is the FOC. Amber will tell you, right? Like, you could save so much money by ordering bulk before it is like the FOC is due, right? Like, nice.
So what's the FOC?
So FOC is final order cutoff, right? If you do that, you're basically, you can save like 30-40% on the book price, right? So a book that's like $3.99, you're paying $2.75 for it, right?
That's what I did at the site. Things of a Different World. I pre-ordered, but it's like 30% off, 40% off if you do it before a certain date.
Yes.
Right.
So if you have a feeling
FOC,
about a book, and this is what shop owners got to do on a weekly basis. They got to think about, okay, what are my customers gonna buy? What am I gonna get left with, right? So Amber's doing this for a living, but as an auctioneer, if you want to make money, you have to get some wins. So you got to think strategically ahead. You got to think like a shop owner, like Amber, and you also got to go scout, meet your LCS owners, talk to them, because they'll give you deals, bro. If you're able to get 30% off the wall items at your LCS, that's where you're spending your money, right? Because I could take $1,000 with me. Like you said, you need a little bit of capital. I could take $1,000, get these books off the wall, have 10 things to sell, right? That's gonna make me 1,800, right? So now I'm up 1,800. I'm not comparing it to any other game, but you flip, you re-up, and you got this.
Right.
So it's really, you need a little bit of capital to do it.
Right. And did you start selling your PC? Is that how you started, or you just had some capital?
Yeah. So I was done with comics for like 20 years. I used to work in a comic book store as a kid up in New York, up in Harlem. I would go downtown to Manhattan, Lower Manhattan, and work in a comic book shop even before I could have my worker's permit. So I had a ton of 90s and late 80s comics. And like I said, the pandemic hit. I had like 2-3 big tubs. I wasn't really keeping them fresh as I needed to, because I was just done. I was like, I went off to college, played ball, did all this other stuff. I wasn't really focused on my comics, and I got back into it because of like the Batman Who Laughs and all this other new stuff, Virgin Variants. And I started reading it, and I was like, yo, I want certain keys. Let me sell these books I got. Now I'm slapping myself because I sold some fire books in the beginning.
Seller's remorse ain't no joke.
We all make those mistakes as an early auctioneer or early seller.
You can't have seller's remorse. You
Bro,
can't have seller's remorse. You just got to roll with the punches.
You got to roll with it, yeah.
I sold a Thundercats #1 for $50.
Yep.
It's one of those things.
Like, remember, Jim had told us that. Jim had said you just got to roll with it. Yeah, he's right.
When I first got into it, I sold my whole ASM like early run. Like I didn't have 300, but I had most of those keys after. So like you look at 316, 317, they're like $200-$300 books, right? And I sold them for like $28 on eBay. Like I really didn't know. I really didn't know how to price books when I first got into it. And I was like, all right, just, somebody's gonna give me $50 for this. This lot of $3. Meanwhile, it was a newsstand. Like I didn't do my research.
You didn't know none of what's a newsstand, right?
Exactly. Right. Back in the day, I didn't want that newsstand. I want that little Spider-Man image.
Yeah, I want the little logo. Right.
It didn't mean nothing to me. So, long story short, I had those books. I started moving them, got a little bit more capital, and then I saw like I could get into this and do it on my own on these auctions and my own channel. And it's been like people say, have multiple streams of income, right? It's been nice from that standpoint because I'm also doing it. It's a business, it's investment, but I got bigger keys, I got smaller keys. I'm able to buy the books now that I really want. So it's collect what you like and how you like.
Yeah.
Right. Do you guys think that the platform is what gives you the avenue to do what you do more than it would have, I'll say, 15 years ago? Like if you were to get in this 15 years ago, we just had Facebook and MySpace. Do you think you could have accomplished the same thing on those platforms as you did now, like on Instagram?
I don't think so, but you know what? The platform provides the avenue to make this happen, but it's really the person.
Yeah. Right. It has a lot to do with the person, but I didn't even know what IG was, and people were like, "Yo, there's books on IG," and I'm like, "Yo, I don't deal with social media, B."
Neither did I.
Not on Facebook. I'm like, I don't want it.
Me neither.
But it was like, yo,
same thing here.
It was like you need to do this in order to do the auctions properly because people have to connect with you. And I was like, let me do this, right? But then I started seeing the more people, it's a niche community. And there's probably still hundreds of thousands of people I haven't met within this community. But now I see books posted every day. So I'm not only honing my craft because I know how much books are worth, but I'm able to get great deals because I've connected with these people. Like, for example, my man out in Arizona went to the road tour with Crane, right? I had no chance of going to that, but he was able to get me a signed Clayton Crane Venom 200 road tour, and he got it. Like, if I tried to buy that on eBay, it's like $300. I got it for $100 what they cost, right? It's because you make these connections and you learn how to network, right?
Right.
It's one of those things. It's about network. It's about connections. It's about really investing the time in your craft.
Yeah. Yep. Amber, were you gonna say something?
No, I was pointing to my Department of Truth signed by Tinian. Who got me that?
Signing and the homie loves.
He was talking about making connections and how you get to meet these people. I wasn't able to go to that, but
right.
The homie,
I think collectors. Yeah, I think collectors. I think people like I believe in birds of a feather should flock together because I think collectors should look out for each other like that. And it should, if you know somebody's a serious collector, you should, and you can, help them out or get some. I think it should be like that, man, because that ensures that
OG Lee, who says spread love through comics. My man sent me 5 mailers stacked full of books just on the house and not no garbage. I'm talking about 9.896 bombs shit, just to look out, just to be like, yo, spread the love. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right here. Agree, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I just got an order in today from Nick Barucci, the CEO of Dynamite Comics. He just sent me a bunch of Vampirilla exclusive Virgin variants.
See,
nice.
And she wasn't afraid to reach out.
Yeah,
right?
we gotta talk. We gotta talk.
You showed up in the chat, and she was like, "Oh,
yeah, we gotta
I know
talk,
you."
Amber.
She was like, "I know you," and he was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, what do you want to do?" And that's the connections. Like, people are scared to make a connection and talk about things. But
yeah, you gotta
speak
up.
Shout out to Diamond Onyx, yo. Rest in peace, Biz Markie, man. Yo, salute.
Yeah, man. Nobody beats the Biz, boy.
Yeah, nobody beats the Biz, man.
Crazy.
Nobody beats. I was just listening. I remember the first joint I ever heard by Biz was him and Shantae. That was the first time I ever heard Biz. And then
all I can
after
think
that,
about is the Vapors. Oh my God,
the Vapors was my joint. Yeah.
Oh baby, you that too. That was the joint.
Oh man.
Don't forget about Doo-Doo Rap. Don't forget about Doo-Doo Rap and all that. Yeah. The Dragon. That was my joint too.
No. This was hip hop for real.
Yeah,
Embodied
was one of the best. Oh,
Vapors was the best,
man. It's craziness, man. When I think of the Vapors, I think of songs like Gas Face. It's just funny stuff, man. But good music, bro. Oh man. Good times, man. Biz brings a tear to my eye. I remember when I first moved out to the DMV area, me and my wife went up to, like, he was doing a show in DC, man, and he brought the classics and the old school hip hop. We was in there doing the Kid and Play and all kinds of stuff on the club. Like, it was just so much fun, man. That's what Biz was, man.
Biz was fun, yeah.
Fun dude, man.
Definitely the fun side of hip hop. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, big time.
I mean, it's crazy the amount of MCs
people we lost,
that we've lost just in this last 2 years. Not even 2 years, this last. I say 2
pandemic.
years because it was last pandemic, year, but in a matter of months, man.
Yeah,
from MF Doom
Jalil, MF Doom, DMX, Black Rob.
Come on, man, Black Rob.
Rob,
crazy.
Man. Oh man, the stories behind it too, man, is painful sometimes, but hey, what can you do besides celebrate their memory right now, man? It's tough. We gotta stand up and be healthier too, man. Damn.
Yeah, because Biz was young, bro.
57.
You like, it's 57. You like, wait a minute, Biz, what's going on? 57 years old. DMX, what, 50, 56?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. I mean, Jalil.
Does anybody know what Pac's name was before it was Pac?
Clifford something. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, I know. I'm just messing. I don't know.
No, his real name is Tupac. His real name is Tupac Shakur. Tupac Amaru Shakur.
No. Huh? Well,
it should be Nason Carriage Cooks or something like that.
Yeah, that's what
his birth name.
And he's over here talking, and I'm like, no, it's not. He's like, yes, it is.
Yeah, his birth name is Nason, right?
Well, it was Lassane Crooks. I don't remember his middle name.
Parrish,
okay.
Parrish
Cooks, yeah.
Damn, y'all just educated me. I thought his name was Tupac Shakur the whole time.
Tupac Amaru Shakur. Yeah, I mean, okay, so you got your name that's on your birth certificate.
No, his name was legally changed, but his
he legally changed his name. But when he was born, that's the name. That's the name that's on the birth certificate. Yeah.
Yes.
But the Panthers and all that, Matulu,
get that and
his name.
Tupac.
His mom gave him that name, Tupac. After the Aztec warrior king. That's who he's named after.
MC New York. Was that his name? Was that his MC name?
MC New York. He means his rap name, MC New York. I did hear that too. I heard that on a documentary or something.
Yeah, it might have been when he first started out. He might have been MC New York. Yeah, and then he changed it. Just went by, something else.
So I gotta jump, man.
I was just getting ready to wrap it up, man. We rocked a little 9 minutes over, but that's cool, man, because we was vibing, having a great conversation, man. It was phenomenal time, man. Yeah, I'd love to have y'all back sometime, man. That was great.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
And I'd love to jump on one of y'all show and sell some books.
Hey, I got a spot for you, bro. I got a spot for you. We're gonna do it.
Go.
Yeah.
I just want to get on. I just want to get on there and buy something. That's all.
We got that for you too.
Yep.
I'm a strategic collector. Amber, we got to talk.
Hit me up. Hit me up on the IG. Let's go.
Oh, I am. I put my IG in the private chat.
Got you.
We got the DC love for you, bro. We got the DC. I just sold a first Poison Ivy the other night. Batman 181, man. I just sold that CGC slab of that. I don't know if you got that in your collection, but that's one of those classics I know you probably was talking about.
Yeah.
Do y'all know?
I try to get all the Fourth World stuff, man. Like all the Jack Kirby Fourth World stuff. I like that's my thing.
Do any of y'all have any Catman?
Catman?
No.
No one ever.
I don't have any. I don't have any Catman.
So DC has a dude named Catman. He looks like Batman. He's kind of a similar costume. His name Catman. You never even heard of him?
You don't mean?
Nope.
You sure you don't mean?
I promise.
You sure you don't mean?
I've never even heard of Batman.
That's one of them Thundercats.
There was there was a role-playing game. You know how after like the Dungeons and Dragons thing kind of blew up, and then they started doing like Shadowrun and like all those other
TMNT. They had DC.
They had a DC joint. They had a Batman joint, and you could be Nightwing or Catman or Catwoman, Batman, Joker. All the characters is in there.
Ain't no Catman. You making that up?
I promise you, bro. It's the only. If he wasn't real, he was the only character in this whole book that wasn't real. Because I knew all the other ones, but I never seen no Catman.
Now, I'm just messing with you, bro.
I never seen.
I'm in an auction. The reason I'm asking because we was doing the auction last night, and somebody came in there asking, "Do we have any Catman?" And I'm like, "Come on, bro. I've never even heard nobody talk about Catman." He made me remember seeing it in that book when I was like,
is that
10.
Catman?
What's that? Let me see. Let me blow it up because that's probably him.
That look like
you mean Black Cat?
Nope.
You mean Black Cat, man?
Catman.
Is that Catman?
That could be. That could be. I don't know. That could be him.
Oh my god.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna see. I thought y'all was gonna be like, I got some Catman. So
Catman.
Nah.
Yeah, bro, right? Yeah, look, I just Googled it. Catman is a fictional character in comic books published by DC Comics who was initially one of the more colorful and camp supervillains to join Batman's growing roster of enemies in the mid-1960s. For decades, the character rarely appeared in comic books as Batman stories returned to their darker themes. So, damn.
Hey, I'm going to have to explore Catman. I'm going to have to explore that.
All kind of pictures. Right? Just Google Catman. That's him. Yeah, you have, that was the picture of him, Amber. That was him.
That's Catman.
He looks just like Batman. He looks like
find his comic before they make a movie out of it.
Mixed with Batman.
Yep.
Oh, well, Catman. Did you? All right. Well.
Yeah, he got some. He got 3 splashes on his check. But yo, it was great. It was great having y'all, man. And like I said, we're gonna definitely do this again. And that's Creamer and Cash Comics, Sans Group Collectibles. Yes. I'm your host, Reno Noir, my co-host Stu Dog and DJ Tiger, Full Blast Radio. Check them out. Shout out to the Comic Crusaders and Al Mega and the Madmen of Comics. We're gonna be going live auctioning tonight on Instagram. Come check us out. And that's that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check y'all out.
Hang out for a second after I go off the air.
All right. I gotta go.
All right.